Only good thing about doing spoking wheels is that it's clean. It's nice to have some work that's totally clean. So I spoke wheels because I could spoke wheels. When you know how to spoke a wheel, you end up spoking wheels. It's as you know, simple as that. It's not that it's like wonderful work. It's not that I want to. You know, some people get into the whole Zen art of spoking a wheel, but you know, I don't think that way. Problems don't always show their head until you got all the spokes in. So you get all the spokes in, then you got a problem. So then guess what? All the spokes come out and you start over. It could be one off, one hole off. Sometimes the rim's drilled wrong. Little subtleties that most people miss, especially when customers supply the parts. Some people put all the spokes through, but I hate them flopping around and getting tangled up, so I do them one at a time. Especially when you gotta play with them like this. So we ran into a problem, believe it or not. The new spoke is a lot thicker than the old spoke. And because of that, it's not fitting into the hub. I think the corners are a little tighter. It tends to be like that than back here. So just taking that little bit off makes the difference. So now I gotta open up every single slot with a file, enough so that the spokes will seat home. You know, there's always something with these old bikes. Ward's Riverside, 1965, Ward's Riverside 450 SS. It is not a common motorcycle. They were all Benelli or Gilera. You know, all the, hardware store, the department store motorcycles. Well, I learned on the job, of course. I learned up in 6th Street Specials because we needed to lace wheels. Paul Cox taught me. He was renting the back of the shop at that point, working on leather. He was in Psycho Cycles with Indian Larry, and they closed, and then he came and worked by us. And he did a few wheels, but then he taught me how to do them. And that's what it is. I don't know how fast it would take him. He was really good at it. He could look at a wheel and he could tell. Well, you know, you could give him a rim, a hub, and the spokes, and he'd be able to visualize how it should be. I can't quite do that. Well, I don't know if I could. I've never tried. I've always had at least some sort of guideline or some sort of knowledge. But he'd know based on front or rear wheel. He understood about power delivery and braking force and how that affects, you know, how the spokes are set up, because that's why, you know, they're laced differently. You know, there's more of a science to this. Like right now, this guy fell out. I start with everything loose because sometimes you got to wiggle stuff around, you know, to get some spokes in. So I start everything loose. Also, if it's all started loose, then you could tighten them more uniformly, and that makes sure you don't get hops in the rim. Hops are the hardest thing to get out of the rim. Side by side's easier, but once the rim's going up and down, that gets kind of difficult sometimes to get out. So I start everything loose. Just get the nipple onto the spoke for now. Once I get everything laced, then I start tightening everything up. got to figure out if it's should be going to the left or going to the right. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Now it's getting a little better. You see a little hop, so I have to figure out if it's, you know, sometimes it might be start at this side, goes to this side. You just get, you know, you learn as you do them. I've done a few hundred of these. I check the tension, one by feel, but also by the sound. Sometimes by feel the threads are getting bound, the nipple might be getting bound in the hole a little bit, but by sound, you know, you're looking for a certain sound, you're looking for uniformity. They don't all have to exactly sound the same, this will drive you crazy, but as you do more of them you get used to what they should sound like. Some people just do the tension. I do a combination of the both. I rely a lot on the sound.